Hello, welcome, another daily market reading. Bitcoin 4-hour time frame, it's losing quite a key support. It's losing what was once a resistance until we broke it, turned into a support, which we are now testing and potentially losing. Okay, a quick recap. Today we have had, once again, which is what I was waiting for, quite negative inflation data. It's exactly what I thought was going to happen, and the market is behaving exactly how I thought it was going to behave. This is what I've been saying in my previous videos, that this week we are going to get slapped up with quite a few bad news when it comes to inflation because of the way that the oil has been behaving. So we have had more bad news today, so the price has been tanking down. As I said at the start of this video, we are currently in quite an important place, and I'm going to show you in just a second until where I think the price, so until where I'm going to let the price go, and then to potentially give me some hope that we are still trading up. Within this channel, I'm going to give you a bit of a bigger target when it comes to the 8-hour and even daily time frame, and then we are going to be looking at Ethereum. Okay, but Bitcoin. First things first, I'm gonna hide this indicator, which is our smart oscillator, and I'm gonna trace a Fibonacci retracement from this bottom all the way up to the top. Okay, so one thing worth noting is we might just be, this is one of the scenarios, going below this recent low, grabbing some liquidity, hitting the 0.5 level, okay, which also is an order block. Here we have gotten 4-hour order block right there. If you don't believe me, here is proof of it. There we go. We have got an order block that's sitting exactly at the 0.5 level, okay. This is one of the indicators that you can use for free, but I'm gonna hide it. But yeah, it was just to prove a point that that's one of the theories. Okay, ideally, how does the price react when it collides against an order block? Usually, when you come against an order block, especially if it's combined with quite an important Fibonacci level, you get an aggressive rejection back up. If the price of Bitcoin goes down below this recent low, hits this order block, we go back up and we go back inside quickly, and that's the key word, quickly. We need to do this all quick. If we start going down, we hit the order block, and then we are wasting quite a lot of time around here, that's bad news. Okay, for this to be a liquidity grab below the recent low and the hit to the order block and the 0.5 level, this needs to be a quick reactive move. If we don't get that quick reactive move, that's fairly bad news, okay? Because then we're going to be confirming that this previous support has now turned into a resistance again, and any pullbacks that we start getting, it might be to be forming lower lows and lower highs on the 4-hour time frame. So it would mean quite a big structure change, okay? So having said that, what else can we see? I'm going to take this off. And now I'm going to turn on our indicators, which, as you already know, you can get for free. They're really useful, this, that, the other. Yes, we have got the smart trend. Actually, I'm going to turn on the oscillator as well, which is really useful to have. So, looking at this on the 4-hour time frame only, we've got a bit more room to fall until we are oversold. We've got the smart trend, which is our best, most luxury, most premium, the nicest indicator that we have created, which is green. Okay, so in theory, we haven't really got any news telling us to go short. Okay, if anything, it would be good for us to go again on this order block on the 0.5 level, because it's also where we've got the smart trend. From there, we should ideally get a move back up. Okay, that's the mindset, that's the point of view I have got. Additionally, going on the 8-hour time frame, we can see we're currently trading, currently losing the exponential moving average, the trend cloud, which is this gray line you can see right there. Okay, exponential moving average was used as quite a nice support and quite a nice resistance, and then there was a support. We might, okay, that's why it's quite important, this level that we currently are in, the bottom side of this channel, okay, this channel that I've drawn out, is exactly where the 8-hour exponential moving average is, okay? So that's why I'm saying in the 4-hour time frame, I would be fine for a really quick tap down and then move back up, because then on the 8-hour time frame, it would just look like this. It would look like a wick, just like a big wick where we went down very quickly, went back up as if nothing ever happened, okay? That's what I want to see. If I want to carry on thinking that the price of Bitcoin can stay around here, and if I even want to have a bit of hope of going around this area, okay? If that does not happen, ciao ciao. I think it's bye-bye. I think we are going to start forming lower lows, lower highs, and we are finally going to start entering the downtrend that we have been waiting for a very long time, okay? Anything else worth noting? Absolutely. I also mentioned to you how there was going to be a bit of a bigger price target, okay? Let me show you exactly up until where this price target is. I'm now going to draw a Fibonacci retracement again from this low up to the high, okay, from this whole impulsive phase up. And I want you to keep an eye on the 0.618 level. I'm now going to turn on from our indicator the multi-time frame fair value gaps on the daily time frame, because I want to see the daily gaps, okay? The daily gap, we've got a strong fair value gap daily exactly on the 0.618 level, okay? That's quite relevant. Also, looking at this on the 8-hour time frame, we still got quite a bit of room until we make it to the oversold area. So looking at the bigger picture, a bit of a slower, more swing sort of trading would make sense for us to go down here, get a test, and then potentially get a bigger move up if we do get a bigger move up, okay? Maybe even to make a lower high from this move down, lower high, which would ideally maybe be testing this previous resistance, okay? That would be glory. That would be really nice, because that would be a really nice place for us to look for a short position if you didn't manage to enter at the very top, okay? That's my analysis. That's what I think is happening with the market. Obviously, I don't have a magic ball. I can't read the future, okay? So do not have a go. Don't think that I'm silly if I make a mistake. I'm doing my best, okay? We have got, if I'm not wrong, we do still have a bit more news also to come out this week. One more thing worth noting, I want you to pay attention at the price. What price level is this? 77,800, okay? Let's go look at the liquidations heat map. And this is on Bitcoin. I'm going to be using CoinGlass, and I'm going to go on the 2-week time frame, okay? Zooming out a little bit. Where is the most relevant liquidations? Most relevant liquidations are exactly the magic number of 77,700. Does that number sound familiar to you? If it does, it's exactly because that's where we have got our 0.618 level and our strong daily gap. Okay? Now, another thing to make this even nicer, even more interesting, it's going to be exactly, okay, believe it or not, exactly where the daily exponential moving average is going to come in. Our daily exponential moving average is coming in at the highest point of liquidity on the 0.618 level on the daily gap, and hold on, because this is not even the end. If I'm not wrong, we have also got, there we go, we have got a 4-hour gap inside that as well. I'm going to turn on all the blocks in case I can see anything else. Right, there's no, okay, I think that's enough now. There's nothing more that I can physically add to this. Okay, that's it. I think those are some fairly strong points to show that there's quite a high chance that we go down here. Okay, so having said that, Bitcoin, ciao. I think that's it. There's not much more I can say about Bitcoin. I've said my piece. That's it. Quickly move on to Ethereum. Ethereum is right. Ethereum, we had this sideways channel for quite a while. It was really useful, a really useful proxy, which I was personally using for quite a while. Okay. Now, what have we got? We have got this recent low. Okay, so we've just cleared out all of the liquidity from this one. Okay, fine. Cleared it, that's gone. The closest one is going to be this one here. Below that, just below that, because I don't know if you can appreciate, there's a gap. We have not collided against this 8-hour gap. We have not touched it yet. So what does this make me think? This makes me think, looking at the oscillator just on the 8-hour time frame, we could very well be going a bit more into the oversold area, get that very final stretch down, touch the order block, grab the liquidity from this recent low, and then if we want to carry on, is the exact same thing as Bitcoin. When you react on an order block, especially on an 8-hour order block, that's quite a heavy thing. It's quite an important thing, okay? So we should be getting an aggressive move back up. An aggressive move that ideally, I would like to see it back inside this channel. If we don't get that, okay, I'm then going to be looking at this support, because then that will mean that it has turned into a resistance. Okay, that's one thing to keep an eye on. That's what I'm going to be looking at. Moving down to the 4-hour time frame, if I'm not wrong, we've also got, yes, there we go. We are currently inside. We're currently inside an order block on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, we're not reacting as nicely as I would like. This is a nice reaction. Look, this is just a very quick example of what I mean by a good reaction. The order block was created on these pivot points here. Okay, we went up, we tested them, and then Ethereum gave us a 5% move. Okay, this is what I mean. A big, aggressive move back up when you test an order block. This is not an aggressive move back up. This, if anything, okay, worth noting, looks like to me we have gone back up to test the exponential moving average, and we have gone to test a 4-hour fair value gap to carry on moving down. This is not looking good, because if I just look at this, this is looking like, I just want to test it out. Okay, so in sideways channels, when the price is going up, down, up, down, up, down, the exponential moving average is not useful, is not really good, because it gets broken top down, top down, top down, as if nothing. Okay, now one more thing, well, there's two more things that are not useful, which are going to be fair value gaps as well as Fibonacci retracements when it comes to sideways channels. Okay, those are the ones that are not really useful. Now on here, what I can see is that this is starting to become useful. This might be hinting that on the 4-hour time frame we could be doing lows, lower highs, might just be going to make lower lows, hit against this smart trend, which would also be potentially even going a bit deeper, following the 8-hour order block, going below this recent low, making then a lower low. And then this is key, if we look on the 4-hour time frame, we would then have to look if we fail to make a higher high. Okay, if we stop before this high. If we do, we might just be starting to confirm a downtrend on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so Like I said, we're on a very key level. We're on quite an important place now when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so make sure you keep an eye out. Make sure you have a look. Make sure also you leave a like. Make sure also you subscribe. By the way, my name is Jay. If you've got any questions, any issues, leave a comment down below. I am here to help. I am here to answer your questions if you've got any doubts. And I also want to know what your market reading is, what you think that the market is doing. And I also would like to know what you think of this analysis. Okay. Having said that, I thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's one. Have a nice day.